Hello, and thank you for joining us for episode 11 of the Gravity Cancel podcast. I got Spank Cakes here with me. So Spank Cakes, how'd you feel about that final reveal for the Battle Pass?
You know, they saved, I won't say the best for last, but they saved something for last.
I'm surprised that's all you had to say.
No.
20 seconds ago, you're pretty heated.
We're going to go through these reveals, I think, in order. We'll talk about that last one here in a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely waited a little while to release a new podcast just so we can kind of recap all of the Battle Pass. So I guess
hold on. You're going no. Okay, so we were going to record on Sunday because they were supposed to do the final reveal on Sunday, and then I go check.
Supposed to be Sunday?
Yes, it had a timer on Brawlhalla.com/Battle Pass or / whatever the slash is. And it said 20 hours. I checked it at 2 o'clock my time. And then I go check it the next day to see what the reveal is, and it's not there.
Oh my gosh.
I swear they pushed it back twice. This might be a conspiracy theory on my part, but I think they pushed it back twice.
Here's what I think it was. It was probably the same exact timer for each reveal. And they forgot to change it to accommodate for the weekend.
Well, it was just insult to injury, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But how about the Mordex and Diana skin, the level up skin and the max one?
So these reveals, first one was from Boomy and Sandstorm, and then Sunsero. So Boomy and Sandstorm's video was great, but the skins themselves, the Diana skin is absolutely nasty. I mean, it's oof. Listen, Demon Woman any day. I mean, but the design is just so interesting because she's got the lower jaw bone on her shoulder for the shoulder pads.
Oh.
And on top of that, she's got the melted candles that are lit on top of her head. Huge fan of that, like Chandelure and Pokemon.
Yeah,
one of my favorite
ghost
types. 100%.
I mained Chandelure in Pokken Tournament, actually, for the
Really?
couple months that I played it. Chandelure was sick.
That's awesome.
Really cool character. I really like the bow too. The bow is just it evokes just hellbound, soulbound Diana.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Now the Mordex skin is super interesting. I'm a big fan of the Mordex skin, mainly because we finally get a humanoid or human Mordex skin, which is really cool. Kind of looks like Abe Lincoln, but looks cool regardless. Not a huge fan of the other two parts of the skin.
No, like the max one almost looks like a black color, like regular Mordex skin.
Yeah, or like the frosted Mordex kind of looks like that one as well.
Yeah, the middle skin's cool. I like the little bit of transformation. But honestly, they could have just dropped a human Mordex as a regular skin for this battle pass, and it would have been a hit, man.
Oh, for sure.
Because a lot of people don't use the first two levels of the battle pass skin once they unlock the max one.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, it kind of makes sense because werewolves transform, so I guess it makes sense that it's the skin that transforms as you play.
Yo, check this. What if? Wait, does it transform while you play?
But that would be awesome. Each stock was different.
Yes. Your first stock, you're human. Your second stock, you're half transformer. Your third stock, you are the werewolf.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, BMG,
that would
hire
be
me.
Awesome.
That would have been the best last day reveal instead of, what you gave us today.
We'll get to that. And then the art posted by Sunsero, I hope I'm saying his name right, is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I want to make it my background. It's so good.
So good.
How about, what was the next day? The next day was Cross, or the next reveal was Cross.
Oh, no, the next reveal was the, you're getting ahead of us, bro.
The
next reveal, it was the all the emotes.
Emotes or avatars?
Emotes and avatars. It was Planet Micro. Actually, the avatars might be with Pavelski. This part's going to be a little bit muddled. But
yeah, it doesn't matter who did it. It's what they did. So let's go with emotes.
Yeah, the emotes are pretty cool. So the one that they use Thor for, where you're digging the grave, pretty cool.
I I'm excited for that
pause.
emote. I was thinking for a moment. I'm excited for the emote with Thor, but with the Undertaker skin.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Back in the day, they did buried alive matches like with Kane and Undertaker, where they would bury the person, to win the match. And like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, it's game over. I'm buying the Undertaker skin. I'm playing Undertaker Thor, and I'm burying my opponents alive.
That's pretty cool. That is a good idea. I love the campfire one. The other ones are pretty cool, and we do have a 6th emote that's not shown yet that didn't get shown off, but I do really like the campfire one.
Is the campfire a 2-person one?
From what I recall, I believe so.
It should
But
be
don't
if
hold
it's
me
not.
to it.
Missed opportunity by BMG if it's not, and they're all about those missed opportunities. So,
Here we go.
the wolf one, the Howling Moon one, I really like that because it reminds me of those Walmart T-shirts of the 3 wolves.
Yep. I had one of those. I used to
You
wear
do?
it all the time.
Of course you do.
Not now. This was like a decade ago.
Fair. Yeah, the emotes were cool overall. I think I like these better than the last Battle Pass, but not as much as the Synthwave Battle Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Avatars, what you got there? I don't have much to say about the avatars.
I don't know which ones off the top of my head are animated. It really just depends on which ones are animated. I assume that Cross one is animated. It looks like it would be. They look all right. I've never like selected one of the Battle Pass avatars, but they're cool.
I always just go for the max Battle Pass where you complete all the challenges. That's the one I rock.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about all the sidekicks? It's a real question.
I don't like them.
So the Chimera is cool because it's a Chimera, but the 2 middle ones, the Gargoyle or the Stone Beast is all right. The Cerberus is all right. I really like the Doomsday Horse though.
Doomsday Horse is cool. I think it's my favorite of the bunch. The Stone one is just like Fat Onyx almost. I'm not. See, the colors are too muddy on most of these. Like, they're too similar. I like it whenever the Battle Pass sidekicks are very different.
I gotcha.
And
Kinda
I
like
think
the
that's why I like
Synthwave
Synthwave. Yeah, because they all had that Synthwave aesthetic, but they were all very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could respect that. And then next
what you
is
wanna
going to
go
be
with?
Pavelski's tease of the, I always forget what it's called, the UI theme in the banner. Absolutely love it. I'm a huge simp for stained glass aesthetic, and it looks cool. That's all I can say. Looks cool.
Yeah, it's stained glass done right. It's not like too intricate. It matches the feel of Brawlhalla. Simple but elegant.
Yeah, I am excited for that one. I'm excited to see it in game, what it looks like.
And let's get a little bit out of order here, because you brought up the stained glass. How about the weapon skins?
Oh my gosh, listen. The weapons are probably my favorite part. The spear looks awesome. The sword looks unreal. I mean, honestly, they all look really good. I'm kind of sad that gauntlets didn't get any stained glass to them. If I had to guess, the ones that don't have stained glass, which would be the gauntlets, bow, and blasters, those will probably be on the free side of the battle pass, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I could see that. The orb was my favorite by far. I love the orb.
Yeah, the orb's really nasty.
And then Katars just have a special place in my heart.
The axe looks good. I'm curious if whenever you select other colors, because I'm sure they wouldn't add these weapons and you can only see that same stained glass design if you do like the original color of whatever character you're using. So I wonder if the stained glass will stay the same or if it'll change.
Do the other weapons and the other battle passes change? Yeah, they do, right?
I believe so, but I feel like the stained glass is unique enough to where it might not.
Man, if that's the case, I'm rocking so many white color legends with that stained glass aesthetic.
Ooh, that's gonna look nice.
because I can't think of any like really good skins for these weapons yet. So like I think it's gonna really depend on the color of the legend.
Absolutely. Now, finally, we get to Cross, the one that you were just down to talk about. So, what do you think of the Cross skin, which was teased by Egg Soup and Lemon Empress?
Cross, oh man, that Cross skin is so cool.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
It has like this Kenshi aesthetic from Mortal Kombat with like the covered eyes, and then like just like straight like rogue cowboy.
I'm excited to see how it takes colors.
I think it'll take colors very well, but mostly like the darker colors. So like I don't think like Verdant Bloom is gonna look good on it, but something like Haunting will look killer.
Yeah, that one and the got a feeling the black color scheme is gonna look awesome on it.
Unfortunately, I think you're right, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get a black color.
Oh, absolutely
Cross.
not. Absolutely. There's no way.
Since you seem to have the order down better than I do, because I'm just looking at an infographic of it.
Well, I have both the infographic I sent you and the actual website pulled up. It's called Effort. Taking pride in your work.
I was so off put today by BMG's decision to do something so poor.
Stop. We'll get to it. All right. Next one's Lucian Sword. The KO effect. This might be my favorite KO effect I've ever seen. I am stoked for it.
I get insane like He-Man vibes from it. I don't know why.
If you want to talk about controversial, we'll talk about He-Man.
I haven't watched it, but like that's just like He-Man, Excalibur, like Sword in the Stone. Let's go. We're sending you straight to hell with his sword. I mean, it's going to be a blast.
It's already cool that the sword like stabs him even more out of bounds, but just the fact that it's like grabbed by that chain and like yanked back, it's pretty sick, not gonna lie.
If you don't put that on every time you play Jala, I'm gonna be so upset.
I don't care who I'm playing, I'm gonna be using it.
I'm still gonna be upset when you play Jala, but if you play Jala without it, I'll be even more upset.
Okay, that's fair. Now on to Foda's reveal, which were the maps. I'm not going to talk too much about the free-for-all map. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But I probably won't see it too much because I don't play a lot of custom games. I don't play a lot of free-for-all. But the 1v1 map, oof. They always knock it out of the park with new maps.
The background's really cool on the 1v1 map. I'm not a big fan of the stage design. I like the look of it, but I don't like the shape of it.
I like the shape of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like the platform might be a little bit higher than like Miami.
I think it is. I think it's just it's like between Miami and what's the other one that looks like this? Apocalypse?
Yeah, I think it's Apocalypse that has the one ledge.
It looks like higher than Apocalypse, but maybe lower than Miami. I can't tell. It'll be a feel thing. But yeah, the free-for-all map. The free-for-all maps they do for these battle passes are crazy.
And I never get to see them, is the thing. So sad.
Yeah, I think the only time I do is like whenever we're playing a private match and we have more than you and me.
Yeah. Or like if the battle pass requires you to do something, or if I have to if I have to get lance damage, I'll just go there and spam for 30 minutes straight.
Fair enough. What's next?
Right. Next would be Tatia, or pretty sure it's Tatia. Yeah, Tatia. Yeah. I don't know. I hope. Was the Azoth skin. Absolutely nasty looking. The multiple skulls, the green glow, which I assume is going to change with the color scheme you use. The axe looks nasty. Everything about it. I wish I could stop using the word nasty to describe how cool
it's a nasty battle pass.
It's a nasty battle pass, bro.
I'm thinking Soulfire is going to look amazing on that
Oh,
skin.
you can only imagine. This might be the only skin that I might play that skin over my current Azoth skin, which I can't remember the name of the Azoth skin, but it's the one that's got like the horns and
You
know which one I'm talking about.
Necromancer.
I think so.
Yeah. You got the Necromancer and the Lich King, and Lich King looks like it came straight from World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the axe though. I didn't get to see the bow because I didn't watch the video, but the axe, just how it matches like the drapery on the horns. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, I'm in love with that axe. I'm probably going to use it on a lot of different characters. I think it'll look great with my Taros skin that I use.
Taros and Zol.
Oh yeah.
Like a war banner skull. Oh, so good.
All right, so we've already talked about weapons, which was defensive. Posted those. Also, Phazon did a Azoth reveal as well. Next up is probably your favorite part.
Oh, you know it. Who did it though? Who revealed it? Because I don't know.
Also, I think we accidentally skipped something. So, we did.
Podium?
Estacio. I don't know how to say his name, but
Estacito.
he did. Was that a Despacito reference?
Yeah.
You're canceled. The podium, phenomenal. I love all three of them. I think I've talked about this in the past. I love whenever. I think it's the whole like growing up with like Beetleborgs and Power Rangers, to where I love whenever there's sets of things that are all similar but different colors. I know that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I get you.
But these don't necessarily look like progression. It looks like three different cool ones you can use. Obviously, the line slowly progresses from a lion to a chimera, but like if I was playing 3v3 and each one of the three guys rocked one of these, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a team that I am afraid to play. I'm not going to be like, oh, the guy using the tier 3 podium's way cooler. Because they all look awesome.
I can see that. But can you select a lower tier podium?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's the tier 2 from the Synthwave Battle Pass. The one that's got the lava lamp.
Yeah.
I think that's the tier 2. I'll use it every once in a while.
Did they change that after the first battle pass? Because like after the first battle pass, you couldn't select your tier of skin.
Yeah, I think it was right before the battle pass came out. The second one, it was either right before or right when it came out. They made it to where you can collapse or uncollapse, like
the weapons and yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to use them. I don't really put a lot of thought in my podiums, but I like them. They're cool.
Yeah, that's why you're losing the drip contest. We won't talk about that.
You're not
including... let's talk about your favorite part of the battle pass.
The Nye skin. Who revealed the Nye skin?
Jade Wares did.
The Nye skin by Jade Wares.
Artists. Yeah, Jade Wares is awesome.
That Nye skin is insane. It might be my new favorite. I'm not sure, but it's oh my god! I can't even talk about it. I'm so excited to use it.
Actually, Illumi shared with me an artwork he's working on of that Queen Nye. You're gonna like it. They're gonna like it a lot.
I don't like that the color is like almost generic purple color.
Shut your mouth. It looks amazing. Listen, something about and everyone's going to know what I'm talking about other than you. Anime characters that have that like lilac hair that usually wear purple. You know, the detective chick in Danganronpa, perfect example. Yeah, everyone's going to know what I'm talking about. Oof. I love the color scheme. I can't wait to see how it takes colors, though.
No, it's going to take colors really well. It might not. It might not take colors well. So
also, didn't you use basic plain purple in the last episode of Showdowns?
It was a mixed berry Pop-Tart, okay?
Okay, mixed berry Pop-Tart. You stole that from me, by the way.
All right, who was next? Was it?
One other thing. Her spear is awesome.
No, yeah, the spear is so cool.
I'm gonna be using that spear for everybody.
I think you could come up with some really cool drip with like Wushang and that spear.
Also, Crocky helped reveal that skin, If you guys don't watch Crocky, which I'm sure if you're listening to this podcast, all 20 of you, I'm sure you've seen Crocky before. He is so hilarious on stream. This man moves like he's being shot at.
Like
whenever
physically
he's playing,
moves or in
yes,
game?
he's physically moving around like he's being shot at the whole time.
I'm gonna have to drop Crocky a follow.
And then next one is going to be old Barendipidus and Schwarpy's reveal, which was the color scheme. I'm sure you probably have a hot take on this one.
Can I just say how good that reveal was?
Oh, the reveal was fantastic.
That video was...
Baron and Schwarpy are both great.
It was so spot on. I don't know anything about Schwarpy, to be quite honest. But it just like... the drive over to wherever he was driving to or riding to, go watch it if you haven't. It's hilarious. It made me feel incredibly old because I've been driving for way too long. But and then the lore aspect of it, where Schwarpy's just kind of like uninterested and Baron's just rolling on with it. Oh, it was great.
That was literally you whenever we had our podcast episode with Baron.
That's what it reminded me of. I was like, I couldn't care less. Let's talk about some gameplay.
Oof.
But the colors. So you and I have different opinions on this, and you're not the only person with the opinion that you have that I've heard. So what's your opinion on it?
It looks like V2 minus the gold, but it also looks like the red variant of Gala colors. Now, I'm looking right now at the Ada skin that I used for last week's episode of Showdowns.
We.
I'm sorry. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we. Yeah, it looks almost identical to the skin that I used, or the color that I used, which was V2. And then the other two skins here I'm looking at is base Scarlet, and then the top hat and suited Caspian.
That's not base Scarlet.
Is that not base Scarlet?
No, that's not. I can't remember which one it is, but that's not base Scarlet.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's Bay Scarlet is who it is.
Bay Scarlet?
Yeah.
It's the one with like all the,
she looks
the
like
dirt
she
on her
on my car
because she's been working on a car or something, or a rocket plants.
She can work
but
on
for
my
the
car.
most part, their outfits are like white, so you can't really see where the red's shown off. I'm excited for it because much like every other color, it can look really good on one skin and really bad on the other. So these don't necessarily pop to me. I see it as, oh, cool, this is going to be another color to put in my pocket because it might look good with a Jala skin and a Taro skin.
Yeah, it's not a skin not a color that's good on every skin, but I'm glad we have more of those because like Soulfire looks great on almost anything. But I want colors that you don't see often, but when you see it and you see it on the right skin, you're like,
exactly.
This dude put some effort into it. This person put some effort into their skin.
Yeah,
their drip, as the millennials, Zoomers would say.
The millennials. So I mean, like V2 looks really good, but V2 on the Azoth skin I use is just beyond good.
Yes, yeah. And I heard someone else say that this color looks like V2 without gold, but I don't get that vibe at all. I get more Gala, but with a little bit of oomph, you know?
A little bit of oomph.
A little bit of red, a little bit of oomph.
Which I like Gala so much because it's what I wanted out of the white color scheme that you can get for 10,000 coins.
I don't understand. Like, they need to rehaul that.
Well, at this point, it's almost pointless to rehaul the white skin because we have Gala, which is just the better version of it. But there's still some skins that look really good with the white skin instead of Gala.
I would almost. I'm gonna. This year, I'm buying so much Gala, like for Legends that I would never play.
Oh yeah.
Buying it for Rayman and then buying it for everyone else.
All right. Here we are. The 25-minute mark.
Wait, we've covered everything else?
I believe we've covered everything else. Yep.
Was the title part of today's reveal?
Yes. After the Rain Wraps reveal. Sheepy was like, oh, also there's a title.
Well, I'm really glad they saved such an uninspiring title for such an uninspiring reveal.
I want to put a huge disclaimer here. I have known Spank Cakes for how long? How long would you say we've known each other?
A year.
At
I would
least
say
a year.
A year and a month, year and 2 months.
Maybe even a year and a half. Who knows? But the only thing I know about this guy is he is a chef. We like the same beer. He does rock climbing. And he really likes fighting games, but no other games. Doesn't like anime. Doesn't watch shows unless it's something nobody's heard of, like The Expanse.
I've never seen The Expanse.
Neither have I. I just pulled a random show out of my mind that I hadn't watched. But I can't peg this guy for a single hobby. And I would also like to say that
you literally just named like 3 hobbies.
Oh, yeah, but everybody likes to cook. Everyone likes food. And it's in human nature to climb rocks. I do it all the time. But my point is, I would like to point out that I am a very, not a connoisseur, but I am a fan of freestyle rapping. Also, Rain Raps did a 5-minute freestyle off the top of his head. Anyone who thinks that was scripted is delusional. So let's get that out of the way. The rap itself, fantastic. Loved it. I was hyped because I appreciate it, and I have a lot of friends that freestyle rap, like in real life. However,
okay, so
I'm gonna
now
before you dig in.
No, I'm not digging in yet. I have to give my disclaimer, and that you've given your disclaimer. I am a lifetime hip hop fan. I have
freestyle rap
tattoo.
Freestyle rap is an acquired taste.
You don't know where I'm going with this. I have a hip hop tattoo, and I like any style of rap. And Rain Raps is great. I listened to the freestyle; it is phenomenal, and I don't blame Rain Raps for much of the lackluster nature of this reveal. I put most of the fault on BMG with like a sprinkle of Rain Raps. But it is not because of a dislike for hip hop or rap. I thoroughly enjoy hip hop and rap. So go on with your little rant before I get to my loss of fans.
So there was a tweet that he put out. And I'm sure by the time anybody listens to this podcast, everybody's seen this tweet or talked about it. But
there were 2 tweets. There was a tweet and like a comment, I think.
Yeah, there was a comment. I saw the comment on the subreddit earlier, but I can't remember what it was.
I've done my research and I've pulled it up.
Oh, nice. All right. So the first tweet was, my battle pass reveal, ... is something BMG has never done before. That's the only hint y'all get. And I was like, okay, let's get hype. And then what was the comment and the response?
So then in the comments, old Square here, Squair, ever being the steward of the community and asking the questions we all need to know, said, "Is it something brand new that's never been in the previous battle passes?" And Rain Raps responded with a "Yup." To which Square responded, "And I'm assuming that's the reason it is in the last reveal on the list, right?" Right, Square. Because we would expect something epic after such a tweet as, "It's something that BMG's never done before."
And if I'm not mistaken, that was 2 days before the Battle Pass reveal, so we had the weekend to think about it.
Well, we were supposed to get it on the Sunday, but
I don't think they planned on doing it on Sunday. They probably, well, now that you know what it is, obviously it was meant to come out today.
They just rubbed salt on the wound, is all they did by not resetting their timer.
You're just salty.
I don't get salty about much, but this was a big bummer to me. I was waiting all morning for it. I'm sitting at work, the only excitement I have in my morning, and then I get a 5-minute freestyle saying it's coming out tomorrow, which half of us already speculated.
Now hold on, you are jumping a little far ahead here.
Okay,
so
sorry.
There was a lot of speculation on what it could possibly be. I saw people talking about maybe it's like a PvE game mode. Maybe there's like a boss battle. Maybe there's like a, not necessarily a beta, but like a sneak peek of a story mode, because obviously the Exalted line is pretty deep in the story. Not saying that Synthwave or any of the other battle passes didn't have, a bit of lore behind them, but this one is like deep in the lore. Does that make sense?
This is the only battle pass that I would have pegged as like, this is Brawlhalla. Like, this is a Brawlhalla battle pass.
Yeah.
Not a themed battle pass.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I get that. But we were thinking, is there a boss battle, a story mode, a new game mode? Is this the first time they use the battle pass to promote a new legend, a new weapon? No way there's a new weapon. Yada, yada, yada. So much speculation. But the thing that BMG has never, ever revealed before, and by never, ever, I mean literally every single time, on the Tuesday before the weekly reset, hey, Battle Pass comes out tomorrow. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah,
we had it set up to where we were running out of reveals until the Tuesday before the weekly reset.
The bigger reveal,
on. We knew it.
The bigger reveal would have been to say, hey, Battle Pass comes out next week. On this 18th.
December 31st.
Yeah, guess what?
Like Rain Rap said.
This isn't the next Battle Pass. This is the Battle Pass after the next Battle Pass.
Yeah. And then I sat through the rap and I was like, all right, I'm here at it. And then he gets the colors and I was like, oh yeah, we getting there. What's the big reveal? And then he just goes, Battle Pass coming out tomorrow. And it's like, no.
I think the best. So the idea of a PvE boss would have been really cool, but I think something like that would have needed like Baron to do the final reveal, right? Where he goes into the lore and he's like, and you get to fight the big lion of, wherever they're from. But with
do you think that the Exalted line actually has to do with a giant lion?
Yeah, dude, it's a huge lion.
Oh god, you've lost all credibility to be mad.
But if it was like, okay, Rain Raps is giving this reveal, Rain Raps uses his voice to, draw attention to the Brawlhalla community. Why not a voice pack? Why not an announcer pack?
Oh, that's the other thing, the announcer pack. People were talking about that.
Dude, you could have given me a Rain Raps announcer pack and I would have lost my mind. I'd have been like dominating. Like, how cool would that have been?
So, can I bring up something completely off topic?
Sure, I bring my mood up because I'm 32 minutes of depression right now.
So there was the guys Jagex who made they're based out of, I believe, London, England, that made RuneScape and still make RuneScape. They made a secondary website back in the day called FunOrb, and you're probably like, what? Why is it going this way? What are you talking about? But it's called FunOrb, and it had a bunch of like little mini games, like little flash games. And there was a game called Arcanist, which was literally worms. If you Google FunOrb, Arcanist is like the only thing that shows up here.
Okay. But
it's like worms, but you're like wizards, and you had a bunch of different spells. And
that sounds really fun.
It was a blast. Loved it to death. I wish they'd bring it back or make a mobile game or something, because in my opinion, it's way better than Worms. But also, I played it before I even knew what Worms was. Like, I played it for years before I even knew that it was a ripoff of Worms. But I loved it. But,
before you go further, do you remember the game Tanks? I think it was like Tanks or something like that, where it was like Worms, but you were two tanks. And you're like mortar shells.
I don't know why I thought Googling the word tanks was going to pull up this Flash game.
I'll find it.
It's just a bunch of real tanks.
It was so good. All right. Anyways, Arcanist.
But I think it was normally like a 4-man free-for-all, and then there was like a 2v2. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think you could do custom games. But anytime that you played in a match and one of the game devs was in the match, they were like... So just imagine a map, and you got a bunch of little pint-sized guys on it. And then imagine something about 70 times the size.
They were just gigantic.
They were gigantic, had the same spells and everything, but they just had way more health. And it was still a free-for-all, but you could, like, if I wanted to kill you, I could. So it was just me versus the boss, or me and the other guy versus the boss, or whatever. But I think if you beat them, you got like a title in game or something.
Dude, that would have been so cool. It's
But
just
I was gonna say, imagine if you matched BMG Dev, but their character was like 5 times the size of normal, and they had like way more health, and they did more damage. But you got a title for beating them.
that would be so cool. It's such a cool idea. So, I'm going to go off on a tangent off of your tangent. So, check this out. So, Killer Queen Black, which is a Switch and PC game, and now it's like on Stadia and Xbox and stuff, based on Killer Queen Arcade. The original premise of Killer Queen Black was that there would be one team that had like this black color scheme, and if you beat that team, you got to be the black team now. So it was this constant, yeah. So it was this constant like changing of the color, changing of the guard, and you know if you matched up with them in queue and you beat them, now you were the black team. So they were gonna do like a stream where like the black team was always streamed. Mm-hmm. So it would just constantly change between like what team was streamed. So like, man, something like that in Brawlhalla where like you get this super unique color, and if you beat that team, you get to be that color, so you get beaten.
I agree. That's kind of cool. I like that a lot.
But anyways, we've gone off on a tangent. I'm in a way better mood now. So you got anything else to say about Rain Wraps before I just fall into my hole of sadness?
No, but I would like to kind of talk about the other battle passes we've had and just kind of stack them up. So
okay.
Out of all these, not talking about the reveals, just the content, the theme, the color scheme. What's your number one bin so far?
Okay, I think Soulfire, or whatever the Soulfire one was called, Demon, whatever, is probably my favorite just because it was the first. And it was just, I've never been into battle passes. Like, it's never appealed to me, like playing, different ways.
Oh, I always eat them up.
Something about it just like drew me in. I think it's because it was when I was like learning Brawlhalla, so it was like showing me every weapon. It forced me to play them, so it kind of like helped my learning curve. And then Synthwave, I think Synthwave gave me the Yumiko skin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Soulfire, Synthwave, this one, and then Northern Forest or Northern Frost or Frozen Forest, whatever that one was.
It took you enough, but you got it. Frozen Forest. So the tutorial one does set really well with me because it's kind of nostalgic at this point. I was excited, like, hey, I didn't start playing this game like when it first came out. I wasn't, a beta tester. I don't remember, jacked up looking Cassidy from back in the day when she was a gold miner ginger. Wasn't there. Started the game kind of late, but I got to be there for the very first battle pass, and it's demons, and it's a Hattori skin, and the color scheme's really cool. But I'm gonna have to give my number one for our previous one, the Battle Pass Season 3. Oh my gosh, the Bryn skin is just flawless. Can't be beaten. All the other skins are alright.
Is it the Bryn skin that does it for you?
100,000%. But also Frozen Forest. Frozen Forest is probably the best color overall.
Frozen Forest goes on almost every skin I've seen. Mm-hmm. The weapons from that set are so cool. Also,
yes. Now, see, the first Battle Pass, Season 1, wasn't a huge fan of the weapons. Not a huge fan of all the characters that you could get, or that had skins in that Battle Pass, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I would say Season 3 is my number 1. Season 1 is my number 2. And then Synthwave, I would honestly, I liked the idea of Synthwave. I like all the stuff we got. The sidekicks are really cool. And I loved Soulfire, but I feel like the Synthwave color, which I can't remember the name of, I think it's just better Soulfire.
You think it's better than Soulfire?
I think so. Anytime that I look at a character and I'm like, oh man, they look really good with Soulfire, I click over one and I'm like, ooh, they look better with this though.
I wouldn't say every skin.
But that's also not me really putting this current battle pass in last place. Because I say this might beat out... Probably going to beat out Synthwave. It'll probably be my number 3. Or maybe number 1 once we get it. And I start playing with the colors and stuff.
So what I'll say is, I think each battle pass has really shined in a different aspect of what it offers.
Actually, wait. Pause. Can I say one thing real quick?
Go for
Sorry
it.
to interrupt. If I played Diana or Mordex, I would rank this as number 1 battle pass. But I just happen to simp heavily for both Bryn and Hattori.
Yeah, the Diana one would probably sell me too.
Yeah. If I played Diana, then I would rank this number 1. I am learning bow, so if I start to become a Diana main,
I
this
think
will probably rank my number 1.
Each battle pass has shined in like a different area. You know, Frozen Force had like probably the best color scheme of all of them. This one I think has probably, I think the best weapons. No, it has the best. It has the best KO effect, hands down.
Oh, for
best
sure.
KO effect.
For sure.
Like Synthwave had really good emotes, but like the skins I was kind of about. So I do appreciate that each battle pass like hasn't been heavily like the quality of it hasn't been heavily influenced on one aspect of it. And there have been no duds because of that. Like none of the battle passes have been horrible.
That's fair.
All right, so let's get on to the next small topic. We don't have much to say about this yet, but it is exciting.
I think it'll be an evolving. I thought we were talking about peripherals. Never mind. All right, we'll save that for another podcast.
We're saving that. No, we're saving that for last. We still have like I got like 18 minutes left. Why not? We gotta talk about our tournament, man.
Oh yeah, we're going to be hosting a tournament. I think we don't know exactly when we're going to do it. It's going to be fall season. Might be around episode 15.
I would think, 14, 15. I'm thinking, keep in mind we're on like a 2-week schedule now, ish. Maybe we'll do if there's something exciting, we'll do a special episode. But I'm thinking probably right before BCX, maybe like a BCX hype up.
So like winter.
BCX is like November, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's November.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking like
before
October,
BCX.
Sometime like late September, early October.
It'll be open to everybody. It will be played on US East. We know that. $300 prize pool.
Wait, did we just decide that? Did you just make the executive decision?
I thought I did.
All right, you just did. All right, $300 prize pool.
It'll at the minimum it'll be $300.
Might go up. Minimum.
Might go up.
If we get enough entrants, like if we manage to pull like 50 plus, I'm okay bumping it up to like 500.
Okay.
So, and that'll be divided between first, second, and third place. It's going to be 1v1, US East. Hopefully we can find some better commentators than me and Rox, but me and Rox will be like the B-cast commentating team.
Yeah, I figure we'll probably stream it.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, here's an idea. We're just kind of theory crafting this in the middle of the episode, but what if we had our guests like commentate some matches, like a special Cobalt commentates an episode or a match. Baron commentates a match. We do some combination of me and Baron and you and Cobalt and me and you.
I would love to hear Baron commentate a professional.
It's just gonna devolve professional. This is like amateur hour.
That is another thing. It's gonna be a 1v1 tournament, not a 2v2. We'll probably tackle that.
I just said that like 45 seconds ago.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Sorry.
But
sorry.
Yeah, Baron commentating a match would be hilarious because it would just devolve into like why these two are fighting. Why is Scarlet?
Or just like fighting? I really don't like this legend pick. You know, canonically. These two would never fight.
All right, we'll have to talk to him about that. That'd be great.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of theory crafting.
Ultimately, though,
we've talked about it a lot outside of the podcast. We're not dead set on a whole lot of stuff. But, pretty good prize pool, and it's going to be based off the standard Brawlhalla rules.
Yeah,
the
pretty
pro circuit
much.
Rules. It's not really anything crazy.
Normal rules, 1v1, US East. That's really all we know now, and a decent prize pool. So stay tuned. Future episodes, we'll talk more about what we're going to do as far as format goes.
Call me crazy, but I would actually like, if it's successful and we keep doing them, eventually have our own circuit to where we have like a ban list. Like every season there's like certain things banned, like you can't play certain legends, or like rotate maps that are played.
Yeah, why not, man? Why not? You're dreaming ambitiously.
This is theory crafting that doesn't belong in the podcast. But
we'll
yeah,
put
go
that
on
one in
with
the
whatever you were about to say.
Put that one in the box and talk about it later. So let's do a little short topic of the week. I just wanted to talk a bit about peripherals, and here's kind of why. So I had a guest over at my house a few days ago, an acquaintance, if you will, no one too close, and they're like, "Wow,
who's the lucky guy?"
It was a friend of my girlfriend's friend's brother, something like that. But he was like, "Wow, you have a lot of controllers." And I'm like, "I do have a lot of controllers," and it made me realize that I play every game with a different controller. So
yeah, you've mentioned that to me, which is kind of
weird. So like Killer Queen, I use a Nintendo Switch controller. Mage Quit, I use a Xbox One controller. I'll get into what I use for Brawlhalla here in a little bit. Traditional fighters, I either use a PS4 controller or a fight stick. So I'm like, that's kind of weird. And I probably have, if I were to just guess, I probably have somewhere in the realm of 40 controllers in my house right now.
Oh my God.
I'll count them. If anyone can guess how many I have, and I count it, I will give you some a special code or some mammoth coins or something. But
that is absurd.
I have a ridiculous amount of controllers. So I wanted to chat a bit with you because you play differently than I do. What controller do you use to play?
That is a great question. So let me go ahead and start off with a story, because of course I can't just be simple with it. I got to be complicated with it. So, and I'm also a terrible storyteller, which is the worst. Like for example, I was here I go doing exactly what I literally set up a story about me doing this to prevent me from talking about what I was actually supposed to be talking about. But anyway, one of my friends got mad at me over Apex, and this was on the way home from the gym today, and I was explaining to my girlfriend Wesley why he got mad. But in order to do that, I had to explain everything about Apex Legends and explain the abilities of all the characters we use for one comment that started a completely off-topic argument. I'm the worst for it. But, gaming, I wouldn't say I started off with PS2, because when I was a kid, my family had like older consoles I played, but my first personal console that was mine was a PS2, and then around the PS3, Xbox 360 days, switched to Xbox 360, played Halo professionally for a while, played a lot of Call of Duty, really liked shooters on a controller, never really had a gaming PC. Had a gaming PC for a short stint while I was in college. Only played Skyrim on it because it was really it wasn't really a gaming PC. It was meant for like Photoshop and animation and that kind of stuff. So it was beefy. It could play games, but it wasn't meant for it. That's not why I bought it. So I didn't really use it for gaming. And then I got the Xbox One, and then eventually I dropped out of gaming for a while. And then here we are years later, gaming PC, and that's what I play on. So all my friends wanted to play, Warzone and Apex and all these shooters and Splitgate and stuff. And they all switched to mouse and keyboard. But to me, it never felt right playing a shooter with mouse and keyboard. Like, the aiming is cool with a mouse. I do like it because, long distance you can be way more accurate. But controller just feels right. Like, feeling the rumble. I love the vibrations in a controller. It's just what I grew up with, so I love it. So started off with just, standard Xbox controller. And, like I said, I started playing Brawlhalla on the Switch. So I played with a Switch controller. But whenever I started playing Brawlhalla on PC, I was like, is this when I should start learning to play on mouse and keyboard? But I was very particular when I picked out a keyboard. I do a lot of creative writing and a lot of typing and a lot of Photoshop. So you know what I really like to hear while I'm doing that?
Clickety clack.
You hear that?
Why do you do that?
You hear? I love it.
I hear that.
So after I bought that keyboard, I was like, should I learn to play Brawlhalla with this? But then I was like, wait, I'm about to start streaming Brawlhalla. Nothing's going to be worse than whenever I'm streaming. And that's what you hear over my voice and the music and the gameplay audio. So I was like, no, I'll just stick to controller. So I never switched to mouse and keyboard. I knew I didn't like mouse and keyboard for shooters or any other games. Like trying to play like Skyrim or something, or like a sword fighting game, like a third-person sword fighting game like The Witcher, mouse and keyboard. You're an absolute lunatic if you do that. Also, if you play a racing game with mouse and keyboard, absolute lunatic.
I've never considered that.
People do it, bro. Think about people who play GTA. Whenever you play Destiny and you get on your Sparrow and you drive around, you're doing it with mouse and keyboard. Lunatic. So I stick with controllers. So when it comes to Brawlhalla, now that I've had that long-winded explanation, I decided to go ahead and buy myself a Razor Wolverine. It is, in my opinion, a better version. Yeah, controller. It is, in my opinion, a better version of the Xbox One Elite controller. It's got paddles on the back, which are less intrusive, which honestly, I don't use the paddles for anything other than in Destiny. I use it to pull up a menu. The main thing are the top two buttons. So there are two bumpers in between. Anybody can look up Razor Wolverine. You'll see the bumpers up top. You've got your regular two bumpers, the secondary bumpers in the middle, and then your triggers. So what I'll do, one thing that is very prevalent in shooters these days is sliding. So whenever you press in on the analog stick, you can't really aim very well while you're doing that. So I switched one of those bumpers, the top right, to slide, and then the top left to jumping, because also if you're trying to jump or climb on top of something, you have to take your finger off the analog stick to the A button. So
if you play claw. Not if you play claw.
Yeah, if you're a millennial that played Halo 3 back in the day and got used to claw like a lunatic, then you can do that. Or you can just have it up here on your bumpers so you can aim and jump at the same time. Which a lot of people will complain in stuff like Call of Duty that stuff that is cross-platform, PC players are really bad for. They'll just sit there and smash the space bar while they're shooting, and it's perfectly fine because one hand's smashing the space bar, other hand's aiming wherever they want it to aim. Doesn't affect their aim. But controller people have to take their finger off the aiming thumbstick and hit A to jump. So I got this fancy controller that I can program buttons to. And all of that just to say that I use the top right or top left extra bumper to do jumps in Brawlhalla, like whenever, the spear combo, side light, jump.
Down light. No, side light, down light, jump side light, or side air.
Yeah. That. It was too difficult for me to do on a regular controller, so I started using that bumper. That's why I use controller and nothing else.
So your layout is the Wolverine a 4-button face controller? So it has 4 face buttons like a regular PS4 or Xbox controller?
It looks exactly like an Xbox controller, except it just has extra bumpers up top. And then the 4 paddles on the back, and then on the bottom you've got the program buttons and like a quick mute, but that's for a console. So and then another thing, the analog sticks just pop right off. They're magnetic, and it came with extra ones that are like rounded, like a typical fighting joystick, and then ones that are like longer and stuff. Which I don't use those. I just use the standard ones.
So you use like X to jump or whatever it is, whatever the bottom button is, or you use a bumper to jump?
I use the bumper to jump.
And then you have light and heavy attack bound to the face buttons?
Oh, wait, I don't always use... So, with Brawlhalla, I literally just use those 4 buttons. But in situations where I have to jump and
gotcha.
hit an attack button really fast, like jump side air like that, that's when I use that to jump. But normally I just use the 4 buttons.
So you have like X is jump, or A on an Xbox controller, and then your left face button is light attack, or your right face button's light attack.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't tell you. I'd have to have the game open and be playing right now.
All right, so you play on the face, except for certain combos, you use a bumper for a jump. Gotcha.
But the biggest downfall with controller players, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you can go pro playing controller. There's professional Call of Duty players that play controller. There's people like Koslix, who is a fantastic Brawlhalla player, constantly in the top, who plays controller. He actually uses a normal Xbox controller. He doesn't use one that has extra bumpers and stuff on it. So you can be good, but there are downfalls. So like with Brawlhalla specifically, with the analog stick, you can't be super accurate. Sometimes you will signature the wrong direction, or attack the wrong direction, or do the wrong signature, because instead of being completely downward, you were southeast. You were going southeast, and it picked up the wrong input. So that does happen.
The problems I've had on controller is like shifting left and right really fast, like doing the little shuffle.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that as fast as you can pressing 2 buttons on a keyboard. But I agree with your sentiment on controllers and shooters, because like if I tried playing on keyboard and mouse when I first built my PC, and I was playing like I can't remember if it was Apex or whatever the shooter was, but like it just felt like I was playing like the most hype Excel spreadsheet of all time. Like it didn't feel like I was playing a game. Because I came up on controller as well, so like, shooting on a controller just feels fun, but typing around on a mouse and keyboard does not feel fun to me.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of people say like, "Oh, you just like the aim assist on the controller." Listen, everybody. There are games that I play where I turn off aim assist on the controller. Very few. But also, most games have aim assist on mouse and keyboard. Destiny has extreme aim assist on mouse and keyboard. It's just it doesn't feel right. I like the feeling of gripping one device and pulling the trigger. You know what I'm saying?
I agree completely. So you started off on a Switch controller, you said, and then went to an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Or went to the equivalent of Xbox controller. Was it a Switch Pro controller?
No. It was just standard old Switch controller.
Old Joy-Cons?
Yep.
You madman. So my Brawlhalla journey, I started off with a DualShock 4 controller, PS4 controller. And that was just because at that time, that's what I used for all fighting games, and it just felt right. I used the D-pad on it, didn't use the stick. And then I wanted to play keyboard because I felt like I could improve a little bit with it. Mm-hmm. But I don't like that keyboards have like 130 keys. I didn't count that, but I think it's like 130 keys. That sounds like way too much.
It does.
Anyways, it has a lot of keys. So I found, and I'm gonna give you some links so you can like put them down in the YouTube description, because I feel like these people need plugged because they are like 3D printing controllers, man. Like,
really,
it's crazy. The 2 controllers I have for this are insane. So I went from PS4 controller to what's called a Fightboard MX, and what it is it has 4 directional buttons, left, up, down, right. And then it has 8 buttons that you can bind to anything, but attack buttons. So laid out in 2 rows of 4. So it's just this little 3D printed. It's like 6 inches long or 7 inches long by like 2 inches wide. And you just set it down on your desk. You got 12 buttons in total, and it's like a keyboard, but you're not going to mispress something.
That's really cool.
So yeah, it was phenomenal. I think they run about like $80, but they come with like Cherry MX switches. They work on PC and I think Xbox as well, and it's completely customizable. You can change the LED colors on it, and everything is cool. So I played with that for a little bit, and then I started to get into. I bought a fight stick for other fighting games. an obsidian pearl, I think it is. Traditional fight stick. It's got the stick plus 8 buttons. So I started using that, and I wanted a fight stick for Brawlhalla, so I tried it out, and the traditional like arcade stick does not work for Brawlhalla. Talk about like you struggle with like a little thumb stick. No, you're struggling with like a big stick that you're swinging every which way, and it's just like your movements feel gross. It's like you're rowing a boat. It's not fun. So I found it's called an Omni drop-in, or an Omni Odin. It's a drop-in pad that replaces your stick, but it's just 4 keyboard buttons. So I have traditional like Sanwa buttons for my attacks. Like traditional, like if you've ever played an arcade game, it's those style buttons, plus 4 keyboard buttons for directional input. So I have left, right, down, up, and then on my right hand, my attack hand, I've got the bottom left button bound to jump, and then my 4 fingers run across the 4 buttons: light attack, heavy attack, weapon throw, and then dodge on the pinky. And it's worked insanely well, and it's like way more satisfying than clacking on a keyboard.
You know what I think that shows me and the audience?
That I'm an incredible nerd?
That let me put it this way. Whenever I am smoking you in fights and showdowns, which you can watch on our YouTube channel, World Top TV, I am smoking the sweatiest hard-stuck platinum in the world.
It's just satisfying to push buttons, and the whole reason I play fighting games is because I like pushing buttons. if the buttons aren't fun to push, I don't want to push them, okay?
That's fair. It is crazy to me that you have so many fight sticks.
No,
it's also crazy to me that you love fighting games so much, but you don't really play... Well, it's really just I know you don't play shooters.
I used to a lot. That's a topic for a different episode, and I do want to talk about our gaming preferences at some point, and what draws us to Brawlhalla. Because you and I have like such different games that we enjoy, but Brawlhalla is like this common ground for people that otherwise don't play similar things.
Yeah, I mean, I've only played 2 other fighting games, and one was when I was a child. So it's kind of weird that I started playing Brawlhalla. And
Brawlhalla is not a fighting game that fighting game players play, not even like Smash players. It's weird. As I'm looking here to my right, I have my Brawlhalla fight stick, my normal fighting game fight stick, an Xbox One controller, a PS4 controller, and a Nintendo Switch controller, along with my mouse and keyboard. So that's all sitting on my desk. You guys probably think I'm a slob, but you got to be ready.
Sitting on my desk is a Razer Wolverine controller, a 10 keyless Logitech keyboard, a Corsair mouse, and one more piece of California roll sushi.
I really enjoyed the sushi, but do you know anyone that like uses a 10 key keyboard? Because like 10 keyless is the only way to go because desks are way too small.
I'm the only person I know that uses a 10
No,
keyless.
I have a 10 keyless.
Everyone roasts me for not having it. No. I do miss the number pad every once in a while, but
I'm not doing some projects for work on this thing. I don't need the number pad. I'll poke at my top row of numbers like any boomer
hunt
would.
And peck like a boomer.
So I wanted to just drop this one last thing while we're talking about peripherals. So we're doing a little giveaway here. We're going to start doing a giveaway every episode for $10 in mammoth coins. Drop in the YouTube comments below what you use to play Brawlhalla, be it a controller or keyboard and mouse, or maybe you play on like a Guitar Hero controller. Who knows? There's some cool stuff out there. I'm sure you use something weird.
You just gave me a really good idea for a YouTube video.
You're gonna play Brawlhalla with a Guitar Hero controller?
Yes.
Just strumming up and down his left and right.
Oh my gosh, yes. That'd be amazing.
So yeah, drop it in the comments below what you use, $10 in mammoth coins, and we'll get it to you whenever we'll randomly pick someone out of the people that comment. So Rox, we're sitting at an hour and almost 5 minutes. Let's wrap it up there. You got any closing comments?
Well, I sure don't.
Sure don't. All right, well, stay tuned. We're doing every 2 weeks for the podcast, and we're doing every week for Showdowns. So if you haven't already, check out Showdown series. We're on episode, 5 right now, I think.
About to release episode 5.
About to release episode 5.
On Saturday.
On Saturday. And then you go to the Reddit. There's a link there for voting on the drip. It's 2 parts. The Reddit. It's 2 parts. Whoever wins the competition part of it, the gameplay part, and whoever wins the drip after we get through all 50 some odd legends, we'll have to donate to charity. Or the loser will have to donate to charity.
The winner's choice charity.
The winner's choice. So it's all written out way more eloquently than I just spoke about it in Rox's extravagant Reddit posts. So check those out.
I do spend a lot of time on the infographic each week.
No, I appreciate it. It's time that I don't have to spend on it. So anyways, until next time, this is the Gravity Cancel podcast with Rox and Sergeant Spankcakes. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you for episode 12.
You're not going to close us out with a freestyle?
Rain Rap's reveal was really whack. It had a lot of things that it lacked. But I'm really tired right now, so I'm going to go hit the sack. Peace.
Yeah, don't quit your day job of being a Oh, I'm going to have to cut that part. Whoops.
Later.